Right. So now we complete the third stage about publishing. Move to the next one. It's very high, orders, high ranking and more difficult. It's about editing and reviewing. Certainly, if you are junior, you can serve as the reviewer. But for the editors, editing work is you need to be a senior who can make the decision that okay, this manuscript is qualified to publish on the journals. Right. So try to serve as the reviewer first. Right. When you have a good experience, then you can start to serve as the editors. And certainly you need to get the invitation from the journals. Yeah, it's not possible to just jump in. Okay, send them the CVs and ask whether they like to have you in the journals. Right. So now talk about live, take and give. So if you publish one paper, just like you take, right, you have the editor, you have reviewers who help you to, process one of the steps and then publish a paper. Then you should give. You should review 2 to 3, even more if you have times and ability, other journals, okay, other articles. So review 2 or 3 other articles. So it's not the give. And also try to, if you are a young scholar, try to review in different journals if you get the invitation. Don't reject, okay? If they invite you, that is the chance, that is opportunity to improve your profile. So take it and review, okay? I review for some very good journals and some just review ones. And then and also work on the editing work. All right, so now the question is, why should you review? Okay, many of you are saying, oh, become the reviewer, I will get into the favor of the program, I will get discount for my paper, right? Many of you will have these answers. And I may get fast tracks for the reviewing process. Is that enough or more? The answer is here, right? What you sacrifice is about the academic duty. You have to spend a couple hours a day to review the work, right? But you take back, you gain a lot. For example, updating the latest developments. For those young researchers, you may not think this is important, but for senior one, this is very important because senior one know many things already, but they serve as the reviewer or editors because they want to see the updates one before come to the peer, before published, because it takes 1, 2, or 3, or even longer to be published, right? So you already know that earlier. So there's many other ethical issues over here. Some relate to the conducting ethic issues, right? For example, so that's why nowadays many people want to publish as quick as possible, right? So your idea will not steal by others, right? Will not be stolen by others. For example, it takes 1 year to publish. If this is a good idea, and sometimes editors, reviewer will also do the similar thing, right? Do similar thing because it's 1 year, right? It's 1 year. You can do another one already, and you publish in in a very quick journal or even low impact journals. Then your idea will be destroyed, right? Destroyed by others, right? So it doesn't mean like you need to do the reviewer, to do reviewings because you want to stay as an editor, but you want to upgrade your knowledge, and you can generate a new research idea, not repeat that idea. Okay, and also the building the association with the journal and editor. This is very important, right? They got to know you, and you can communicate about new publications of research idea, right? So even though you are the reviewers or you are the author, you still need to know what is the scientific quality, right? For the reviewers or editor, you need to see this manuscript is within the standard or scope of the journal or not. If not, then you can reject it. In the scope, you can send out to the reviewer, right? Reviewer may ask whether that research question is clear and the research approach is appropriate. Study design method analysis appropriate to publish the answer those research questions or not, right? And of course, you will ask about novel ideas and some added value to the literatures, and whether the methods can be replicated or not by clearly explained in the method part. The next one is, and I want to emphasize about the staticals one. You need to have very adequate skill for the statistical analysis. Now there are many people using deep learning, machine learning, and AI. You should upgrade your skill and capacity, different level of the statistic, and should learn the presentation skill to make the manuscript easy to read and understand. Make it in the good structures that the editor and reviewer would like to take it. And most important one is about the ethical issues. Okay, have to follow that. And finally, you ask, does matter? And you say, yes, it matters a lot that this should be published. But the decision is not on your hand. It depends on the reviewers and editors. All right, so now the next question is about how to get invited to be the reviewer. Later we can share and discuss, and also how to be a good reviewer. What will be the good language and attitude in reviews and response? Some you just say some words, some sentence so irritated, and the reviewer can just reject it, right? And how to respond to reviewer editor properly, effectively as a author, right? So we can learn more about that. I hope we can have more webinars to share different type of different part of the research cycles, right? So you should know that what the decisions that reviewer give to the editors, right? There's some journal they give like a scales from close to outstanding. Right? Some just give only 4 decisions: reject, majors, minors, or accept. Okay, you should know that. Okay, so that is the step 4 of the research cycles. Now we move to the last part, which create the impact, right? About communicating your research. So I suggest that you register to different platforms, as many as possible. You don't fear that, oh, I will be, my identity will be released and exposed to many other sources or other people. No, we in the academic field, so you can create different platforms. Create your ID account and in different platforms. The most one you must have is about the open research and contributor identities. This one just like your national ID, because there should be millions of the researchers who may have the same name with you, right? Some of them have the same name with you. And this ID can identify you or others, okay? So we also create another is about researcher IDs, and this one linked to Publon. And we also can create the Google Scholar if you have institutional email address. And we also have ResearchGate, Loop, Web of Science, Scopus, Academia, Size Profiles, and many others. Okay, if you have create one, if you have, especially when you have a first publication, right? That's when you get a name, then you should create an account and update your publication on their platform and also on the journals, okay, on the journals. So when you submit your new manuscript, they say, oh, this guy already published 1, 2, 3 on the international journal. So you have a name there already, right? So they will say, this is not the new one, not the first one. Okay, so create many as you can. Now the next one is about you can promote your research, right? You can promote your research on academic platform. For example, this is mine on the Google Scholars, ResearchGate, or Loop, or many other academics platform. You can also promote your research on press, local press or international press, and also on your own and also your group social media. For example, some of my publication, usually when I publish, I will promote everywhere, right? For on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, right? That you use this every day, okay? And just promote that. The second one is you can promote your work, scientific work on press. So we publish this kind of work and promote our work in many press in different language. But here I just only showed you some of the press in Vietnam. So we have many, but I share over here only 5 press in Vietnam. So we see we need to promote our research so people can know, because one day they publish thousands of papers. No one can read all of that, and no one can, approach or access all of that. So you need to promote, not just only journal help you to promote. You have to promote yourself and also promote your work. Now, that is about code. We complete the research cycles. And now I start to talk briefly about my journeys. And I'm very interested in one sentence from Lao Tzu. This is that ancient, very well-known ancient Chinese philosophers and writers. He said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So it's not that easy if you can get to the target, right? Start with a no name. Start with a no name until you get a name, and you'll be recognized as a scientist, and then you can get to become the world scientist, right? If you look at this picture, you cannot see this is me, right? So I have no name, I have no image, I have no impression to everyone, okay? And then when you start to have the name, you have to work very hard, work out every day, doing literature reviews and of course balance with your life, prepare very hard, learning new skill, improving them. And next step is about choosing the partner. Choosing just like you choose a friend, partner is very important. You can choose everyone, but just friend. But for those who work with you, should have the same space, same speed. Okay. The question is like, or if you are senior, would you like to choose a junior as your partner? Of course, yes. This stage is another stage that you achieve it and you start to share, just like you climb on the mountain, right? Someone have to climb up first, and then you give the hand to others and help them to improve. So at the beginning, if you are a beginner, you can choose people with the same speed and to work on together, and it will be easier and you can achieve quicker. And when you achieved some achievement already, you have some achievement, and then you can start to share and support other junior one, right? And when you can stand with the international scientists or worldwide known scientists, then you can start to think about, well, I achieved something. At that time, you need to be more responsible to your work and your team, your students, and many others. Okay. And of course, during your journey, there's many others, right? And the question is, Dr. Duc just asked me whether I feel like sad or disappointed and want to give up. And the answer is yes, sometimes. My first study was not completed. My first study failed. The reason is because no budget, no money. And I start my first study when I'm doing my bachelor degrees. It's 2005, 2006. At that time, I'm so impressed by one professor um, who just completes the PhD from Japan or other country. I'm not quite remember, but he come to the class and deliver the lectures in very scientific way. He cite every sentence that he want to deliver to the student. I said, well, no one do this in my class, in my study. So I'm so impressed. After finish the class, then I come to him and ask, I'm so impressed in your lectures. I never see anyone to deliver a class like this with the source, with acknowledge other work, and you cite in the papers, in the PPTs. And could I come to discuss with you? And I would like to learn your skill, and I would like to learn from you how you can do the research. And he just kindly give me the name card and say, yes, you can come to me. He's working in my hospitals, and that is the gate is open, and I just come to him, and I'm kind of intern in the hospital. I just, if I have no class in the school, I go to the hospital and just sit down and doing literature review, and I go to different library to collect because at that time, 15 years ago, we don't have a good internet and so online resources right now. I go to the library and read the paperwork which is done by others, and then complete the proposal. But at that time, many difficulty about that is about financial support and many other things. So we stop there. Then I graduate, and then we still contact sometime. And then I get a job in the one medical college in Hanoi. And then I do another study after that. It's in 2008 and 2009. And I'm lucky enough to get the first prize and gold medals for the National Youth Medical and Pharmaceuticals Conference, national levels. And at that time, I feel, oh, I got a name. So you see, more than 10 years ago, I got a name. Right? I got a name at the national level. Right? So work hard from then try to go grocery study and work hard every day, and then meet with the good people. Of course, some will be bad, and then you can learn from them and improve yourself. Then gradually you can achieve some, right? Very hard way. I think many of you also the same. You will fail some of your proposals, cannot be conducted, and you get success in some others, but keep, moving forward. And this picture I just took is on the very gleaming evenings. Very impressed. So I just linked to, oh, this is just like fresh running on the mountain. So I just keep that, and also just link with the journeys, and I put some pictures over here. So that's a brief story.